welcome back to another ride. Today we're going to check out this stinky little skate park in Hawthorn. Hawthorn is just the next suburb over from Richmond. But yeah, going to show you some of the bike paths along the Yarra River and also check out some drains. So what I want to talk about today was this video I watched by Luke, SOMA, and it's riding a bike doesn't have to suck, and he goes into some of the specifics about comfort and how it could make it easier for you to ride your bike. And that kind of got me thinking a little bit of kind of what are the barriers that we have when riding a bike. So I thought today we could talk about those things and really break it down one by one. So what we're going to do is create an imaginary scenario of going for a ride. And I know, yes, it's not going to be the same for everyone, it's going to be different, but hopefully I can try to cover most things. And hopefully if there's things you can add, you can definitely just add it in the comments. So I think the first kind of barrier is really how you're physically feeling. Are you feeling tired? Are you sore? Maybe you haven't eaten lunch yet, or maybe you're hungover. And it kind of seems like a no-brainer for this, but if you bring a snack and bring a water bottle for your ride, it's definitely going to make your ride way better. And if you don't want to bring those things, maybe just eat a little something or drink a little something before you go, because there's nothing worse than feeling like you've got no energy when you're riding. So the next thing I think about after that is really the weather. Is it rainy? Is it sunny? Is it super cold or not? And what that means is basically just dressing in the right clothes for each kind of weather. If it's cold, bring gloves. If it's rainy, wear a raincoat. Because what happens is when you're riding, those things tend to compound the longer you're out. And for me, I like to wear different layers where I can, if I get too hot, I can take it off easily or put it on. And I just try to make it as easy as I can for myself. I usually just wear normal clothes, nothing too crazy. I like wearing flat shoes with flat pedals. That makes it nice and easy. You don't need special shoes to get on your bike. Some people like to wear glasses, sunglasses when they're riding as well. Makes it a little bit more enjoyable. And also, if you need to wear a helmet, you can wear a helmet. Make sure the helmet's something that you like and that's comfortable too. Alright, so you're all dressed to go, and now where is your bike? Is it in your room? Is it in a garage? Is it in a storage cage? Is it in your car? Maybe it's even locked up outside somewhere. And what you want to do is make it as accessible as you can. So, you know, if your bike is in your room or in your house, obviously that's going to be the easiest. You can just kind of grab it and go. But if your bike has, you know, if you have to move, if it's in your garage and you have to move like 10 other bikes out of the way, or you have to move the car out to get your bike out, then that's going to make you less likely want to ride. And if your bike is locked up somewhere, I'd say probably the biggest barrier for most people is having to unlock and lock up their bike, just because it's something that you have to do every time. I'd say one, make sure you get a good lock, and a lock that's easy to put the key in and unlock and lock. And then the other thing is having a place for your lock, whether it's a backpack or somewhere on your bike. What I like to do for me is I have a basket and I have a little strap and I put the lock in, and it's super easy to get in and out. It just slides in and out, and there's always a place for it and I don't need to think about it. Alright, so we're feeling pretty good and we're dressed appropriately and we got our bike out. And the next thing is, how easy is the bike to ride? And that comes down to two things, I think. One, which is comfort, which is what Luke from SOMA talked about. So making sure that your saddle's comfortable, your pedals are comfortable, your grips are comfortable. Also your riding position, making it a little bit more upright so that you're not always hunched over. Maybe your bar's a little bit swept back and your seat height is in the right position as well, so your knees aren't hurting. And the second thing is mechanically, how is your bike running? So are the gears smooth? Does it change gears? Do you have gears? Are your tires pumped up? Does it spin freely? Are your brakes scraping? Do your brakes actually work? Obviously it's nice to have your bike in good running condition and try to maintain it, but if you can't, if you don't know anything about bikes, just pump up the tires. Pumping up the tires is going to make a huge difference to how you enjoy your ride. Alright, so we're feeling good, we're dressed appropriately, we're got our bike out already, and we're riding our bike and it's in good rideable condition and we're feeling pretty comfortable. The next biggest thing that's going to affect your ride is where you ride exactly. So whether you are riding off the beaten path or you're riding in traffic, depending on your experience, and I'd say for most people riding in traffic is going to be a lot more stressful. So sticking to off the main roads, you might take a little bit longer, but you'll definitely have a more enjoyable ride. Also, making time for yourself and not rushing to get somewhere will definitely allow you to ride a bit slower and be a little bit less stressful as well. So you've done your ride, and the last thing I'd say is basically just storage and getting it ready for the next ride. And with storage, I talked about making it easy for yourself. There's no stuff in the way, you can lock it up. You can easily get it in and out for next time. And if there are any issues, like you got a flat tire, fix it before next ride so you're not fixing it when you want to ride. Maybe you need to tweak the brake pads, maybe you need to give it a wipe down, maybe you need to tune the gears a bit. If you have an e-bike, you got to charge it up for next time. I know the last thing that you want to do after the ride is check on your bike, but if you just do a quick check, it'll make it so much easier for next time when you want to go for a ride. So yeah, hopefully that helps. I know some of it might be a bit obvious, but if you have any more tips to make riding a bike easier, then just drop them down below. Here when I was riding, this crazy thing happened. Yeah, so turns out it was a full moto that went past. For the people that don't know, this bike path is just for, obviously it's just for bicycles and pedestrians. So yeah, I was quite shocked to see a motorbike pass me. But yeah, he seemed pretty respectful. He beeped and then, make sure he had room to go past. But yeah, still pretty shocked. But yeah, this bike path, under bridge bike path is pretty cool. I think Sam from Bike Police said it reminded him of like the Mario Kart Rainbow World or whatever. I think that was pretty funny. But yeah, you can see here we're starting to get close to the drains and the skate park. We're going to check out the skate park first, but you can see a bit of the drains here. Later I'll go right through it. But yeah, pretty. I think the water's pretty high today. Usually there's a channel in the middle, but you can't really see the channel because it's kind of flooded a bit. So it was lucky I was able to get out today. Used a motorbike still. I don't know what it's doing, but probably up to something. But yeah, the skate park is just up here. Some people also skate the drains. I think there's a few like little made up spots back there with the ramp, and I think there used to be another little ramp but in the ledge. But yeah, I probably won't skate today just because it's so flooded, and yeah, the board will probably go straight into the water. And then here, just crossing the bridge over the drain, and up ahead you'll see this is H.A. Smith Reserve. So there's some big fields, a playground, and I think there's other fields more further up. But yeah, you can see the skate park is basically just on the left here. There's also a little water fountain thing and a little bike station I'll check out later. But yeah, it seemed like there were some bikers here already pulled up to the spot. So yeah, we're gonna give the skate park a little look. Alright, here's the rig, looking pretty good. Just locked it up to the bike rack, and I ended up changing the rear wheel because I got too many flats off the old ones. I just switched the whole wheel over. Front wheel's still the same, but yeah, been riding pretty nice. And here's the KT bars, of course, feeling real good. Here's the skateboard, just put on the bench there. There's the bike again, and yeah, you can see first up we got this little quarter pipe, and it just has no extension, but it's pretty fun, I guess. It's short though. And then just a little fun box, a little ramp, and then they got a small ledge on the right, and then this little hump to this tiny quarter. Makes it pretty fun to skate. The ledge is pretty short, I'd say, and pretty low. But yeah, I think this park is named as like a beginner park. Here it is from the other side. You can see a little quarter pipe with a waxed up ledge on the end, curb again, and a little fun box and a ramp. And then yeah, the quarter pipe on the end again. Let's have a little skate. So yeah, overall a pretty fun little park. It's small, but yeah, the good thing about it is no one's ever there, so you can have it all by yourself. And then here, just pumping up the tire. I wish the cable was slightly longer for the pump, but I think they designed it so it doesn't hit the ground. But the bike stand is on the opposite side. If you put the bike stand on the other side, I think it would be way better because you'd get more room for the cable, for the hose. And then here you can see if you do kids bikes, it's really quite a stretch. You got to rotate the tire to the top as well. So yeah, a little bit of a design feedback. At the end of the day, can't really complain because it's free. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. Alright, so we've got the water bottle here and bubbler. You can get water out of there. And also here, fill up your water bottle. It's pretty good. And then here we got the little bike station. You got flathead, Phillips head, got some Allen keys, got a tire lever. You can put your bike up here. And then on this side, you got headset tool. I think this is probably pedal tool, and then you got a smaller one. Looks like it's a 10 and an 8, and then this is probably a 6 and a 5. It says 11 and a 9. Got one of these. Looks pretty busted though. I think this is a Torx tool, and then another Torx, and then another tire lever. And they got the pump. The pump actually has Presta and Schrader, so that's good. It worked pretty well. I just pumped it up, and then yeah, got the little gauge there. The gauge works as well, so it's pretty good. And then here is the overview of the park. Yeah, it looks way bigger than it is. It just the wide shot makes it look a bit bigger. But yeah, there's here's the playground right next to it, so you can kind of take your kids there. And then here's the big oval. You can see there's a sport game going on at the moment. And yeah, what we're going to do now is check out the drains. But yeah, I think we're pretty lucky in Australia to kind of have all the different facilities and like super big ovals, like just tons of space over here. And yeah, with the bike stand thing, I know I posted it previously on the past on my Instagram, and a lot of people messaged me saying, from different countries, saying, if it was in my country, like all the tools would be gone already, someone would like steal them all. But yeah, I think we're pretty lucky in that sense, having a lot of different facilities, and they're pretty well kept as well. So yeah, I'm basically just riding right next to the drains here, and you can basically just go in. There's just up here a little bit, there's actually a few kind of paths that kind of go down to the drain, like a few ramps, just right here, and it's not too far. You can see there's one on this side and one on the other side, and that gives you access. But yeah, basically what was funny, I just saw a few people like spraying down there, so I didn't want to ride past and film them because I'm pretty sure like that's they don't want that. So I decided to just go around the other side and try to ride straight through one pass, and by the time I get to the other end of the drains, hopefully, they've kind of moved on already. So yeah, I'm just riding up next to the drains here, and you can see there's a bike path going all the way next to the highway basically, and then there's AFL footy field on the right, super well maintained. Some of the areas here, I think Hawthorn is a pretty well off area, so the council upkeeps all the stuff, upkeeps all the facilities, and yeah, usually they put money into what the people want, which is pretty cool. So I think Hawthorn or surrounding area, they're more open to fields and bikes, sporting facilities, so yeah, pretty lucky in that sense. Here I'm just kind of crossing the highway over the drain. It's a pretty big highway, but yeah, they got traffic lights, so you can kind of just go across no problem. Here on the left you can see the drains, and yeah, there's a bike path that goes all the way next to the drains as well, so it's pretty cool, pretty nice ride, and it gives you a little bit of a separation with all the football fields between the cars and stuff, so you get reduced noise. You can see some of the drains here, it's more of a flooded, more like a creek, I guess. It leaves heaps of rocks and stuff. Some people walk and take their dogs down there, but I think yeah, just can be a little bit tricky sometimes. But yeah, I was basically riding up here, riding up to the back of the drains, trying to find a way in. I could have entered back before where you saw the little rocks, but there's no bike path that goes across it, or it's all rocks, so it's pretty hard to kind of go on bike by there. But yeah, I basically pulled up here, and by the time you ride up to this area, it's already high up, so I had to get down somewhere, and I figure I'm just gonna climb down, like there's no issues, can't be that hard. It did just rain, and I was wearing my my Vans, so they're pretty slippery. So I wish, maybe I had some less slippery shoes, but yeah, here you can kind of see me just going down the big hill. There's two big hills, and then there's this one. It probably looks less steep on camera, but it was pretty steep. And then at the end of the hill, there's a concrete bank that you might not be able to see because of the grass covering it. So you just got to be careful as you kind of go down. The only other thing that you got to be wary of is just snakes in the long grass, but they can hear your vibrations, so if you make a lot of movement, make a lot of noise, usually they'll go away. And it's winter here, and I'm wearing long pants, so it would have been fine, but yeah, I'm no snake expert, but just be careful. So yeah, here back on a flat area where you can ride, and yeah, people tend to take walks down here, they take their dogs out, and yeah, it's pretty serene, pretty quiet. You can see the graffiti up here, and then just up above is yeah, more oval and fields and a bike path that goes right next to it, and then it leads you back to the skate park. There's also a velodrome up there, which I probably should have showed you guys, but yeah, we'll just check out the drains today. So yeah, there was still a guy painting on the left there, you can see. But yeah, basically I'm gonna just check out the walls on this side. There's a channel of water in between the middle, and it goes up and down. It just rained, so it's a little bit higher than usual, but sometimes you can kind of just jump across, and there's like areas where you can hop on the other side. But yeah, on this side, I'm just going to stay on this side this time, just because I've got my bike with me and it's a little bit harder to kind of jump over. But yeah, hopefully you can kind of see some of the different pieces. But yeah, it's pretty cool that this exists. It's kind of just like a natural art gallery or something like that, natural museum. If you visited Melbourne before, there's also Hosier Lane, which is popular for its yeah, people say like street art, and yeah, it's super popular with the tourists. Everyone kind of goes there to check it out. It's kind of, I guess, like iconic Melbourne. But yeah, I think people, they don't really see this part of Melbourne, just because it's a bit further out, and you really have, it might be harder for people to kind of come out here if they're not really into this kind of stuff. But yeah, I think it's definitely cool to see. Here you can see I just rode back up the other way. It's kind of, the lighting is not super good, a little bit blown out, but yeah, these are the other walls. And then on the left here you can see there's a little like bank to ledge, which I thought would be cool if you did like Wally board slide on the top. But yeah, it's too wet at the moment, so maybe I'll come back when it's a bit drier, see how it is. But yeah, I think overall, I think it would be cool if like someone made a DIY skate spot in here. But yeah, obviously I don't know how long it'd last, because I don't know how high the water goes. Maybe that's the reason why no one's built anything down here, but they already have the little kind of lip up to the wall, which would be good for wall rides and stuff if you skate. But yeah, here just riding back on the other side of the drain, so just riding back towards the skate park, or the bridge that we crossed. And you can see on this side there's another ramp that goes up here. I'm not sure where it goes, I haven't checked it out, probably goes up to the highway or something. But yeah, here it is along the drains. One thing to note is these little water patches, they can get quite slippery, because they get combined with moss, and you can kind of like slip out if you're not wary. So yeah, if you're gonna ride down here, just be careful of those. I've actually like slipped out one time, and yeah, kind of learnt the hard way. And then here, just riding to the other end of the bridge, just to show you guys, it's kind of where that motorbike was stopped before. But yeah, there used to be up here, there used to be a little bit of a skate spot too, but basically it's just more graff up here. You can see the ground again, it's more flooded because it rained. But yeah, in summer it's like completely dry. But yeah, you can see there's a little half of a ramp on the left, and then on the right there's that ramp on top of the bank. But yeah, this is basically it. Would have been fun to skate this today, but yeah, too wet. It's meant to be raining all week in Melbourne, so basically I just tried to get out and film this while there was one day of sunshine. But yeah, this is the other end of the drains here. You can see all graphed up, little ledge on the left. People used to skate that, and the ramp used to be up against the bridge, so you can kind of like a little half vert or small vert. And then yeah, just more graffiti here. And then basically what I needed to do now was figure a way to get out, because yeah, I can't get across the other side, and there is that big ramp all the way up the other end, but I didn't want to ride all the way back up there. But from what I remember, up on this bridge that I crossed, just up here there's steps, and yeah, if you just ride a little bit, you'll see these steps. Might be kind of hard to see because it's covered in grass, but there's steps up here to kind of climb back out. And yeah, a little bit harder with the bike, but yeah, not too bad overall. Just just take it slow, I guess. You can kind of see the footage. And then once you get up to the top, you can kind of just ride straight back out onto the path here. And then yeah, on the right is the oval and the skate park, and on the left is on the way back. But yeah, here I'm just on top of the bridge. There's the drain, and this is the other section and the highway as well. So yeah, I was going to hit up a cafe, but then I looked up the cafes and all the cafes were closed because it was like almost 3 o'clock. So yeah, if you come to Melbourne and you want to go to cafe, yeah, make sure you go before 3. Well, this is on a weekday anyway. But yeah, shout out to Calvitinium and user ES6BO2QN71. Thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. I'll hit up a cafe next time. And yeah, here's the bike, running sweet. The tire held up on the back wheel was good. It's a little bit shaky, but this is a bit of a rat bike. And yeah, hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.